Inexplicably, Din Djarin removed his helmet to reveal his face in the previous season of The Mandalorian to completely let the side down. Of course, religious Mandalorians are supposed to never remove their helmets in devotion to their creed, so when Pedro Pascal's character revealed his face in Season 2, Episode 7, fans were shocked to say the least. Today, we are discussing how Din Djarin can redeem himself in Season 3. Stay with us. Let's jump straight in then. What has Jon Favreau had to say? The show's creator, Jon Favreau, has been discussing how his star Pedro Pascal can attain redemption for his character after revealing his face to others in the last season of The Mandalorian. Favreau has teased Djarin's redemption arc recently, suggesting the bounty hunter will be able to put the mistake behind him and redeem himself in the eyes of the Children of the Watch. Mando, as we know, is forbidden from removing his helmet in front of others, but does so in Episode 7 of the second season when he takes the helmet off in order to help Grogu. Since the incident, he has been looking for ways in which he can redeem himself, as we saw in the Book of Boba Fett, which aired after the events of The Mandalorian Season 2, and we're pretty sure his search will continue when the third season rolls around, if Jon Favreau's words are anything to go by. Favreau sat down recently to discuss all things Season 3 along with producer Dave Filoni, and the pair weren't backwards in coming forwards when the topic of Djarin's redemption came up. Favreau said, "Well, we established in the Book of Boba Fett that there was an opportunity for the Mandalorian to be redeemed because he had transgressed against the creed by removing his helmet, and this will excite fans no end, who feared that Mando would be outcast for his actions." What did you make of Djarin removing his helmet? What else did Favreau have to say then? Stay with us. Well, Favreau carried on to explain that, of course, among Djarin's group, removing your helmet is absolutely forbidden, which we knew already, but he also reminded fans that for different sets of Mandalorians, there are specific sets of rules for each, so what's forbidden for one set may not necessarily be forbidden for another. Favreau went on to say, "In the Clone Wars, we saw with Dave and also with the character that I voiced that the Mandalorians are very different there, and so these different groups are coming together, and we're going to figure out the nexus point for all those communities, of course, is their homeworld from which they're exiled, which is Mandalore." The show's creator stopped short of giving too much away in regards to plot points, but did give fans a pretty big hint as to what Djarin's struggles might entail in the upcoming season. As he heads back to Mandalore, he is still in possession of the Darksaber and will inevitably be drawn into the murky world of politics. Bo-Katan and her followers are almost certainly going to test Mando and are pretty likely to honor his authority due to his creed. Could this impact his shot at redemption? We know he is loyal to Grogu, and he has shown on multiple occasions that the old ways still mean a lot to him, so we can probably expect him to hunt down redemption with vigor once Season 3 rolls around. So when is Mando actually allowed to remove his helmet? Of course, it would be a pretty difficult life for our main character if he was never allowed to remove the fabled helmet, but there are a few exceptions. When no one else is around, Djarin is able to get a respite from the helmet, as he washes, eats, and maintains his fantastic mustache, but as soon as he comes into contact with someone else, it must go straight back on. This means he can only do these things when alone. He is also allowed to take the helmet off in front of droids. As we saw in the Season 1 finale, Mando tells IG-11 that no living thing has seen me without my helmet since I swore the creed. The droid then reminds him that he is not actually a living thing, before allowing IG-11 to remove his helmet to treat him. Djarin also bends the rule in front of Grogu, as he lifts the helmet just enough to expose his chin as he is eating in the siege. Of course, Grogu is pretty intrigued by this, which suggests that in the past, Djarin has steadfastly stuck to the rule in front of the infant. There is also a gray area surrounding the Stormtrooper outfit. When Mando removes the Stormtrooper helmet, it's not actually his own helmet, another example of him bending the rules slightly. What are your thoughts on Din Djarin and the slightly annoying rule of not being allowed to remove your helmet? Next up, we're looking at the helmet rule in a little more detail. Stay tuned. Djarin has explained to other characters during the show that he is not allowed to remove his helmet due to the Mandalorian's ancient code, telling Cara Dune in Season 1 that you can't just ever put it back on again if you take it off. At one point, his legitimacy as a Mandalorian is questioned, and during a brief interrogation, he is asked by a fellow Mandalorian if he has ever taken his helmet off or if anyone has ever removed it for him, to which he replies no. As soon as the Inquisition is over, the pair recite the Mandalorian mantra, "This is the way." Migs Mayfield later presses him on his beliefs as he removes his helmet whilst dressed as a stormtrooper, suggesting that there's a difference between taking off your helmet and not showing your face. As we saw, Djarin declines to comment when pressed by Mayfield, which suggests a couple of things. Either Din Djarin knows he has messed up, or, somewhat strangely, he doesn't actually know the rules to which he usually lives by so religiously. As we make our way deeper into the story, it's possible the rules will be relaxed even further. As like is so often the case with many religions, mainstream Mandalorian culture has drifted away over time, and it's only really the Children of the Watch who adhere to it anymore. What do you guys make of Mayfield's question? So, when can we expect the third season? Let's see. Well, it's been quite some time, almost 2 years since the Mandalorian Season 2 finale dropped, so Season 3 can't come quick enough for some fans. While some people had suggested we could be in for a late 2022 release, it does has now been confirmed at Star Wars Celebration that the third season of The Mandalorian will be with us in February 2023. At the moment, there is nothing more concrete than that, but we believe it will almost certainly follow the well-trodden path laid out by other Disney Plus shows and drop on either a Wednesday or a Friday. This would mean the earliest we can expect the show to return would be the very first day of the month, February 1st, and the latest would be February 24th. Whichever date the show returns, it's not far away now, and fans are beginning to get extremely excited. Let us know what you guys are most looking forward to below. And what about the story? Details are scarce right now in regards to what might go down when the show returns, but Dave Filoni has recently given a brief outline of what we can expect. He said, "There's a lot of new adventures coming up. I have to be careful. I can't really say anything specific, but I think the Force will be strong with this. Let's just say that. Cheers, Dave." We can probably expect Mando and Bo-Katan's squabbles over the Darksaber to be front and center when the show returns, and of course, our man Din Djarin's quest for redemption. Pedro Pascal himself spoke recently about the upcoming season, saying if he is stepping into a leadership position, he's reluctant to do so, before going on to reveal that he will be forced into discovering what he's capable of. And we literally cannot wait to see what's in store for us. What do you make of this? And finally, who's in the third season? Well, we can expect most of our main characters to return, meaning Pascal will of course be back as Din Djarin, and Giancarlo Esposito has also recently revealed that his character, Gideon, will receive more airtime in the upcoming season, which is great. Carl Weathers will return as Greef Karga, and Katie Sackhoff will also be back as Mando's nemesis, Bo-Katan. An exciting new addition will see Back to the Future legend Christopher Lloyd join the show in a so far undisclosed role. Unfortunately, MMA fighter Gina Carano, who played Cara Dune, was dropped by Lucasfilm after calling out the woke left for hating people with differing political points of view, the same woke left who preach acceptance and love of all. We hope there will also be a few new additions to the cast too. As usual, thanks for dropping in on us today, and remember to tune in again next time for some more fun and games. Bye guys!